Hello, my name is Gregory Jones, and I have written a book called The Macroeconomic Laws. It contains poetry and economic information. So I'll start by giving you a sample of the poetry. If magic stars appeared out of nothing. If magic stars appeared out of nothing, I would tell wondrous tales of grand dramas with imagined people in imagined places, where a tragic figure could seek asylum for a mistaken judgment, where a wave of the hand could dispel a black dream, and mortal wickedness could be slain with a stainless steel saber. What it is. It is inside you. It's inside every heart that lives beneath the blue sky. It tantalizes the thoughts of the old as well as the young. It provokes the rich as well as the poor, and it mocks achievers and the idle alike. Some scream and shout and celebrate the morning light. Others linger and lapse in listless postures of aimless melancholy. Some are carried on waves of fortune, while others are overwhelmed. Exoticus. They were born and they would be, in the land where they are free. Chained beneath an iron will, so they toiled and so they tilled. With the word and with the call, he was born to save them all. When the Lord gives the power to free the people in their hour, for the love of people free from the mountains to the sea. And now I'll turn to the economic section of the book, but first I will touch on basic law. The United States is an independent and sovereign nation state with the right to not immigrate by our Constitution, as it says. We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. It doesn't say to people in other countries or to foreigners or to immigrants. The immigrants who are relevant are the immigrants who have obtained citizenship. And so you see it guarantees the blessings of liberty to ourselves. Their wages are a sacred right of the American people. Their wages are a blessing of liberty. Now, the cost of mass immigration is enormous, and I have calculated the cost of mass immigration, and it's here in the book. The cost of mass immigration is incredible. If we hadn't been mass immigrating over the last 38 years, wages would be about $40,000 greater for each working American. I estimated $40,000. United States congressional computers reported to me that before mass immigration, wages and productivity were increasing 7 times as fast. In order to calculate the cost of immigration, divide $40,000 by 2 to get $20,000, the average each worker in the U.S. has lost in wages per year. Multiply $20,000 by 35 years, the number of years wages have been stagnant in the U.S., and each American worker has lost $700,000 in wages over the last 35 years. Our workforce was 107 million people working, 107 million persons working. That was supplied to me by the computers, that number. So we multiply $700,000 by 107 million, and we find that the cost of mass immigration over the last 35 years is $75 trillion in wages stolen from the American people, an incredible fortune. The journalists don't tell the truth. The journalists say that we have labor shortages. In fact, wages are stagnant because we have too much labor or labor excess. Wages are governed by supply and demand, or economic growth versus labor supply. I've described the macroeconomic laws, which are 5 laws which determine all economic conditions. Immigration increases labor supply, reducing wages. Economic growth is a product of free enterprise. Wages are governed by supply and demand, or economic growth versus labor supply, and wages determine levels of technological development And the causes of poverty are overpopulation, Marxist economics, improper monetary policy, and overregulation. And monetary policy must be proper. Inflation should be maintained between 1% and 2% for all the economies of the world. That's 5 laws. And the journalists don't tell the truth. The journalists lie. The journalists say that economic growth is from tax cuts or immigration or education or skill or the stock market. This is not true. Economic growth is from free enterprise. During the Cold War, the free enterprise economies of the United States, Japan, and Germany grew, while the Marxist economies of the Soviet Union, Cuba, and Eastern Europe and North Korea didn't grow. So economic growth is a product of free enterprise. Wages are governed by supply and demand. The journalists say that we have labor shortages. We have too much labor. The journalists say that economic growth is from immigration. They say that immigration is good for the economy, and this is not true. The journalists are lying. They are not telling the truth. And so, what I'd like for you to do, of course, is buy a copy of my book, The Macroeconomic Laws. Here we go. And you can purchase a copy at, that's The Macroeconomic Laws by Gregory Jones, and you can purchase a copy at Ex Libris, Amazon, or Barnes & Noble. Thank you very much. Love God.